Lucas, a 10-year-old boy, was known in the neighborhood for his lively spirit and inexhaustible energy. Every day after school, he would run to the makeshift soccer field in the central square, where he would meet his friends to play. That field, with its goalposts made of branches and lines marked by stones, was a sanctuary of happiness and childish laughter. On a sunny afternoon, Lucas was particularly excited. The cloudless blue sky reflected his good mood as he ran around the field, dribbling past his friends with a skill that seemed supernatural for someone so young. Laughter echoed through the space as he approached the goal, focused on scoring another point. Suddenly, in a quick and unexpected move, one of Lucas's friends kicked the ball hard. It flew through the air, arcing before hitting Lucas directly in the head. The impact was strong and instantaneous, and Lucas fell to the ground, unconscious. Silence overtook the field, and the friends, once full of laughter, were now paralyzed with fear and worry. "Lucas! Lucas!" shouted Pedro, his best friend, shaking him slightly. The sight of Lucas lying motionless on the ground, his face serene and oblivious to the chaos around him, was terrifying. The children, not knowing what to do, ran for help. Donna Marta, a lady who lived in the house next to the square, heard the screams and ran to the field. Seeing how serious the situation was, she didn't hesitate to call an ambulance. The road to the hospital was a blur of sirens and muffled voices for Lucas's friends, who followed him in silence, full of anxiety. When they got there, the doctors quickly took him to the examination room. Lucas's parents, Maria and João, arrived shortly afterwards with their hearts squeezed and tears in their eyes. After a few hours of agonizing waiting, the doctor appeared with a serious look on his face. "Mr. and Mrs. Silva," he began, "the tests have revealed something unexpected. Lucas has a benign tumor in his brain, which is pressing on his optic nerve. This is causing him to gradually lose his sight." The news hit Lucas's parents like a bombshell. Maria burst into tears, while John, although trying to remain calm, felt the ground disappearing beneath his feet. The decision they had to make was unimaginable. Risk Lucas's life with complicated surgery, or let him gradually lose his sight. When Lucas woke up, he was informed of the situation gently and carefully. His response, however, surprised everyone. "I want to live," he said, with a determination that didn't seem compatible with his age. His parents, out of respect for his courage, chose not to carry out the surgery. The months that followed were a time of adaptation and overcoming. Despite his deteriorating eyesight, Lucas maintained a cheerful spirit. He learned to move around the world in a different way, developing his other senses with impressive speed. The square, once a soccer field, was now a place where he trained his hearing and touch, orienting himself by the voices of his friends and the touch of the stones that marked the lines of the field. His friends, initially shocked and saddened, soon adapted to Lucas's new reality. They invented new ways of playing, always including him. Lucas's resilience inspired everyone around him, making him an example of courage and determination. Maria and João, despite their pain and fear, found strength in their son's indomitable spirit, learning to value every moment with him. And so life went on. Lucas, now blind but more alive than ever, turned his adversity into strength, shaping an uncertain future with the certainty that he could face any challenge with the same brave heart that guided him every day. Lucas's life followed a different rhythm after the complete loss of his sight. Every day was a new challenge and a new opportunity to learn. The boy who used to run through the fields now walked cautiously, guided by sounds and touches. His parents, Maria and João, were tireless in their support, always looking for ways to make it easier for their son to adapt to his new world. The Silva home was transformed to suit Lucas's new needs. The furniture was rearranged and small obstacles were removed to allow him to move around safely. Maria, always patient, spent hours teaching Lucas how to navigate the home environment. They created a code of sounds to help with communication. 3 knocks on the door meant someone was coming in. 2 taps on the banister indicated the direction of the stairs. At school, Lucas encountered new challenges. The classroom, once a familiar space, was now unknown territory that needed to be explored with care. The teachers, aware of the situation, adapted their lessons to include braille materials and audiobooks. His classmates, initially hesitant, soon realized that Lucas was the same intelligent and curious boy as always. They took it in turns to help him, describing his surroundings and guiding him from one class to another. Despite the difficulties, Lucas never lost his lively spirit. He learned to use a cane, moving confidently through the neighborhood streets. Each walk was a new discovery, and he soon learned to distinguish the different sounds of the city, the noise of traffic, the singing of birds, the murmur of conversations on the sidewalks. It was during one of these walks that Lucas met Raphael, a blind man who lived in the same city. Raphael, with his vast life experience, became a mentor to Lucas. He taught him to read Braille fluently, to use assistive technologies, and to rely more on his other senses. Raphael also showed him that blindness was not a limitation but a new way of seeing the world. The meetings with Raphael gave Lucas a new perspective. He started taking part in activities for people with visual impairments, where he met other young people facing similar challenges. Together they shared stories, learned new skills, and supported each other. These friendships strengthened Lucas's determination to live a full and independent life. As Lucas grew up, his adaptation to the world without sight became more and more impressive. He learned to play the piano, developing a natural talent that surprised everyone. Musical notes were like a new form of communication, allowing him to express his emotions and feelings in a way that words could not. At 18, Lucas entered university, a milestone that filled his parents with pride. He chose to study psychology, motivated by the desire to help other people overcome their adversities. At university, Lucas found an inclusive and welcoming environment. He quickly stood out as a dedicated and brilliant student, earning the respect and admiration of classmates and teachers alike. It was also at university that Lucas met Anna, a literature student with a captivating smile and a generous heart. Anna and Lucas quickly became inseparable friends. They spent hours talking about books, music, and life's challenges. Anna, always curious, would ask questions about Lucas's experience of being blind, and he would patiently share his stories and learnings. Over time, the friendship between Lucas and Anna blossomed into something deeper. They started dating, and the connection between them grew stronger every day. Anna admired Lucas's strength and resilience, while he was charmed by her intelligence and sensitivity. Together, they dreamed of a future full of possibilities, where love and understanding were the foundations of everything. Lucas and Anna got married in a simple and emotional ceremony, surrounded by friends and family. The life they had built together was a testimony to overcoming and unconditional love. Shortly afterwards, they were blessed with the birth of Sophia, a baby girl who brought even more joy and purpose to their lives. Lucas's blindness, which many saw as a limitation, was never an obstacle to his love and dedication to his family. He was a loving and present father, teaching Sophia to appreciate life's little wonders. With Anna by his side, Lucas felt complete and happy, living a life that exceeded all expectations. But fate had more surprises in store for Lucas, and the next twist in his life was about to happen. The years passed, and Lucas's life seemed to be in perfect balance. He had a loving family, a rewarding career as a psychologist, and friends who supported him in all his decisions. However, fate had a new surprise in store for him. One day, while playing with Sophia in the garden, Lucas began to notice small flashes of light. At first, he thought he was imagining things, but the flashes became more frequent. Worried, he told Anna, who accompanied him to a doctor's appointment. The doctors were intrigued by Lucas's symptoms and carried out a series of detailed tests. After weeks of tests and consultations, the diagnosis was surprising. Lucas was partially recovering his sight. The news was greeted with a mixture of joy and concern. On the one hand, there was hope that Lucas would be able to see again. On the other, there was uncertainty about how this change would affect his life. As Lucas's vision improved, he began to see the world in a new and exciting way. The colors, shapes, and faces he hadn't seen for so many years were now within his reach. Sophia, with her sparkling eyes and infectious smile, was a sight he would never forget. However, regaining his sight also brought unexpected challenges. Anna, insecure about her appearance, found it difficult to accept Lucas's compliments. She had always known that he loved her for who she was, but now, with him seeing her, her insecurity began to grow. Lucas, for his part, was enchanted by Anna's beauty and didn't understand her worries. The weeks turned into months, and Lucas's eyesight continued to improve. He rediscovered vanity, something that hadn't mattered when he was blind. He spent more time taking care of his appearance and began to distance himself emotionally from Anna and Sofia. Anna, feeling increasingly isolated, tried to keep the family together, but the tensions were palpable. With his sight restored, Lucas returned to work with a new perspective. He became more interested in his appearance and began to get more involved with his work colleagues, especially Larissa, a new employee who admired him deeply. Their innocent flirtation quickly evolved into something more serious, and soon Lucas found himself involved in an extramarital affair. Anna, noticing the changes in Lucas, tried to talk to him several times, but her concerns were always played down or ignored. Lucas became increasingly distant, both emotionally and physically. The nights he spent away from home became more frequent, and the arguments between him and Anna intensified. One day, after a particularly heated argument, Lucas decided to file for divorce. Anna, devastated, accepted the decision with a broken heart. Sofia, still a little girl, didn't fully understand what was going on, but she felt the tension between her parents and her father's growing absence. After the separation, Anna and Sofia moved to a smaller apartment, and Anna found comfort in the support of Raphael, Lucas's old friend. Raphael, who had always had a special affection for Anna and Sofia, offered to help in any way he could. He became a father figure to Sofia, helping her cope with her father's absence and bringing joy to her days. Lucas, now free from his marriage, plunged headlong into his new relationship with Larissa. At first, the passion and newfound freedom enchanted him. However, as time went by, he began to realize that the happiness he felt was superficial and ephemeral. Larissa, although attractive and affectionate, lacked the emotional depth and understanding that Anna possessed. In addition, the relationship with Larissa brought complications at work. Lucas's colleagues began to notice the favoritism, and the gossip spread quickly. The work environment became toxic, and Lucas' productivity began to drop. Before long, he was fired, a direct consequence of his personal and professional choices. Unemployed and estranged from his family, Lucas faced loneliness and regret. He tried to reconnect with Sofia, but each attempt was a failure. Sofia, hurt and confused, didn't know how to react to her father's intermittent presence. In a desperate attempt to reconcile, Lucas took Sofia to a shopping center, but, distracted, ended up losing sight of her. Sofia was mugged, and although she wasn't physically hurt, the trauma left a deep mark on her. Lucas, ashamed and feeling like a failure as a father, withdrew even further. Guilt and shame consumed him, and he took refuge in drink and isolation. Anna, although still hurt, tried to help Lucas, but he rejected all her attempts to get closer. Desperate and not knowing where to go, Lucas took refuge in a wood near the city. The solitude and silence of the place led him to reflect on his choices and their consequences. He remembered the happy times with Anna and Sofia, the laughter and the love they shared. The pain of regret was overwhelming, and Lucas felt that there was no hope for him anymore. It was Sofia who found him after days of tireless searching with Raphael. Seeing her father in that pitiful state, Sofia couldn't hold back her tears. She begged him to come home, to try to make amends and win back the family that still loved him. The sincerity and pain in Sofia's eyes touched Lucas in a way he hadn't expected. With Sofia and Raphael's help, Lucas returned to the city and began a long process of recovery. He sought professional help to deal with his addictions and began to rebuild his life brick by brick. His relationship with Sofia, although fragile, began to strengthen again. Years passed, and Lucas, now sober and aware, rebuilt his life. Although he lived alone, he maintained a close relationship with Sofia, based on love and forgiveness. Anna and Raphael, now married, accepted Lucas's financial help to raise Sofia, but the wounds of the past were still felt. Lucas found a new form of happiness by reconnecting with his daughter and helping others who were going through similar difficulties. He became a volunteer in organizations that support people with visual impairments, using his experience and knowledge to inspire and support those who faced similar challenges to those he had faced. Sofia, now a young followed in her father's footsteps, taking an interest in psychology and helping other people overcome their adversities. The relationship between Lucas and Sophia was a source of strength and inspiration for both of them, and they learned to cherish every moment together. Lucas knew that he could never erase the mistakes of the past, but he also knew that he had the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of the people around him. He found a new form of redemption, accepting his flaws and working to be a better person every day. Life went on, and Lucas continued to dedicate himself to his volunteer work and his relationship with Sophia. He knew that he could never erase the mistakes of the past, but he also knew that he had the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of the people around him. He found a new form of redemption by accepting his faults and working to be a better person every day. One day, Lucas received an unexpected phone call. It was Anna, who wanted to discuss something important. They arranged to meet in a quiet cafe, where Anna revealed that Raphael had been diagnosed with a degenerative disease. She was overwhelmed with work, caring for Raphael and worrying about Sophia, who was about to start university. Lucas, touched by Anna's situation, offered to help in any way he could. He began to devote more time to the family, helping Anna and looking after Raphael in the most difficult moments. This new role brought Lucas a sense of purpose and redemption that he had never felt before. Living together on a daily basis rekindled old feelings between Lucas and Anna, but this time they were both more mature and aware of the complexities of life. They came to value friendship and mutual support without pressure or unrealistic expectations. Although they both knew they could never go back to the way things were, they found a new way of loving and respecting each other, based on trust and complicity. Raphael's health deteriorated rapidly, and he passed away surrounded by those he loved. His death was a hard blow for everyone, but it also brought a new perspective on life and the value of shared moments. Kiana, for her part, rediscovered in Lucas the man she had loved so many years ago. With Raphael's passing, Lucas found himself at a turning point. He decided to continue his work supporting visually impaired people and became more deeply involved in community projects. The pain of the loss was still there, but he turned it into a driving force to help others. Anna, for her part, went back to school, looking for a new career that would inspire and motivate her. With Lucas's support, she graduated in social work and began working for an organization that offered support to families in vulnerable situations. Sophia, following in her parents' footsteps, excelled at university and graduated with honors in psychology. She began working in a clinic that assisted children and adolescents, using her life experience to offer support and guidance. Lucas, now with his sight partially recovered and a new understanding of life, finally felt at peace. He knew that the mistakes of the past would never be completely forgotten, but he also knew that he had done his best to redeem himself and regain the love and trust of his family. The following years were marked by new challenges and achievements. Lucas continued to grow as a person, learning and teaching every day. He found a new form of happiness based on love, forgiveness, and the constant pursuit of doing good. The lives of Lucas, Anna, and Sophia continued to evolve in surprising ways. Lucas, inspired by Sophia's story and his own journey of redemption, decided to found an organization dedicated to supporting visually impaired people. The NGO, named Vision for the Future, offered resources, training, and emotional support for those who, like Lucas, needed to find a new way of living. Anna, with her career in social work, joined Lucas's project, offering support to the families served by the organization. Their collaboration brought a new dynamic to their relationship, based on respect and the common goal of making a difference in people's lives. Sophia, now a renowned psychologist, began working with visually impaired children, helping them to develop resilience skills and self-confidence. Her passion and dedication to her work were inspiring, and she became a key figure in Lucas's NGO. Over time, Vision for the Future grew to become a national reference in supporting people with visual impairments. Lucas traveled around the country, giving talks and workshops, always accompanied by Anna and Sophia. Together, they formed an unbeatable team, bringing hope and change to thousands of lives. Shade of the NGO's popularity and impact brought new challenges for Lucas and his family. Running the organization required total dedication, and Lucas found himself dealing with administrative and financial problems he had never imagined he would face. Anna, with her experience in social work, helped create programs and raise funds, while Sophia developed new methods of psychological support. In the midst of this rush, Lucas began to realize that although he was helping many people, he had neglected his own well-being. He felt the weight of responsibility and the constant pressure of being a public figure. It was Anna who reminded him of the importance of taking care of himself. She suggested that they take some time for themselves, away from the responsibilities of the NGO. They decided to spend a few weeks in a country house where they could relax and reconnect. The nature walks, deep conversations and moments of silence brought a renewed sense of peace and purpose. Lucas rediscovered the importance of work-life balance, something he had lost sight of in recent years. The time in the countryside was transformative for Lucas, Anna, and Sophia. They returned to the city with new ideas and a renewed sense of purpose. They decided to expand the NGO to include wellness and self-care programs, not only for those served, but also for staff and volunteers. Lucas began to implement mindfulness and meditation practices in the organization's daily activities. He also reconnected with his love of music, using his piano skills to offer lessons and music therapy sessions to the NGO's beneficiaries. Anna, inspired by Lucas's personal transformation, started support groups focused on the mental and emotional health of families. She experienced how important it was to have a robust support system during difficult times. Sophia, for her part, developed workshops for young people, helping them to navigate the challenges of adolescence with resilience and confidence. Vision for the Future became a beacon of hope and transformation. The success stories multiplied, and the organization was often highlighted in the media for its positive impact on society. The years passed, and Sophia, now a successful young adult, began to think about her own family. She met Eduardo, an environmental engineer, during a lecture on sustainability. Eduardo was passionate about nature and preserving the environment, and the two quickly became inseparable. Lucas and Anna were charmed by Eduardo and saw him as the perfect partner for Sophia. With the support of their parents, Sophia and Eduardo began to plan a future together. They dreamed of a house where they could raise a family and continue Lucas and Anna's work, combining their passions for psychology and sustainability. Sophia and Eduardo's wedding was a celebration of love, family, and the continuity of Lucas's legacy. The ceremony, held at the NGO's headquarters, was an emotional event, with speeches of thanks and tributes to the family's achievements. When Lucas saw his daughter getting married, he felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey that had brought them so far. As the family expanded, Lucas and Anna decided to reduce their direct involvement in the NGO's management, passing on the responsibilities to a new generation of leaders. They dedicated themselves to personal projects and to supporting Sophia and Eduardo, who were now leading Vision for the Future with new ideas and energy. Lucas found peace in his partial retirement, dedicating himself to writing a book about his life and the lessons he had learned. He hoped that his story would inspire others to overcome their adversities and find purpose in difficulties. Anna, for her part, continued to offer support to families through support groups and workshops. The NGO's new leadership brought innovations and expansions, reaching even more people and solidifying Lucas and Anna's legacy. The organization's vision evolved to include not only support for visually impaired people, but also sustainability and social inclusion programs, reflecting Sophia and Eduardo's passions. Although life was on the right track, the past still had its scars. Lucas, in moments of introspection, reflected on his choices and the consequences they had brought. He knew that despite his achievements, he had deeply hurt Anna and Sophia in the past, and these moments of reflection were painful but necessary. Anna, sensing Lucas's anguish, suggested that they seek couples therapy, even after so many years. She believed that this would be an important step towards completely healing the wounds of the past. Lucas, initially reluctant, agreed, understanding that there was still work to be done to fully restore trust and unconditional love. He felt that he had finally found peace with himself and those he loved. His relationship with Sophia blossomed even more, and he became a present and loving grandfather, sharing stories and teachings with his grandchildren. Anna, for her part, found a new purpose in life, dedicating herself to writing about her experiences and helping other women find strength and resilience in difficult situations. Her work as a writer and speaker has become a source of inspiration for many people around the world. One day, during an NGO event, Lucas had an unexpected encounter. Larissa, the woman with whom he had had an affair in the past, showed up at the event, now a changed person and involved in social work. The meeting brought up old memories and feelings, but also an opportunity for closure. Larissa and Lucas talked at length, and she expressed her regret for what had happened. Lucas, in a gesture of true redemption, forgave her, understanding that they had both made mistakes. This reconciliation was an important step for Lucas, who felt that a painful chapter in his life had finally been closed. Over time, the community around the NGO grew and strengthened. Lucas, Anna, Sophia, and Eduardo continued to work together, creating an environment of inclusion, support, and growth. The success stories multiplied, and vision for the future became an international reference. Lucas, now with his sight partially recovered and a new understanding of life, finally felt at peace. He knew that the mistakes of the past would never be completely forgotten, but he also knew that he had done his best to redeem himself and win back his family's love and trust. The following years were marked by new challenges and achievements. Lucas continued to grow as a person, learning and teaching every day. He found a new form of happiness based on love, forgiveness, and the constant pursuit of doing good. Lucas, now in his advanced years, looked back with a sense of accomplishment and gratitude. The journey that began with a young boy losing his sight had turned into a life of impact and inspiration. He knew that his legacy would live on through vision for the future and the many lives he touched. Anna, always by his side, continued to be a source of strength and wisdom. Together they enjoyed the golden years, surrounded by family and friends. Sophia and Eduardo, now with children of their own, carried on the values and lessons they had learned. Lucas's memoir was published and became a bestseller, touching hearts around the world. His story was living proof that regardless of the challenges and mistakes of the past, there is always an opportunity for redemption and to find a greater purpose. And so, Lucas lived out his final years in peace, knowing that his life had been full and meaningful. He found comfort in the love of his family and the certainty that he had made a difference. His legacy continued to inspire, reminding everyone that true vision comes from the heart.